Sorry about that, folks. Just dropped my mic. Welcome back to Wash and Walk-Ons podcast. This is episode 375. And ironically enough, 375 was my favorite bet to make in poker. I don't know why. I just really liked putting 3 black and 3 green chips out. It just felt like a good bet. Bet it a lot. Welcome back to the Wash and Walk-Ons podcast. Cleaver, what's up?
I thought you might intro that with 375 milligrams
No,
because that's
no.
about.
I would
'cause-
not be on this podcast right now, pal.
Well, damn near you had to ask me what number it was twice, and that
No,
was
you told me the first time, and I was thinking about other things because I was reading DMs on Instagram, and so yeah, I mean,
You
I
got-
ignore you a lot if you haven't noticed.
you got people sliding in my DM in your DMs.
No, it's all friends, it's all memes and shit.
Kevin Ward, welcome to the podcast.
Kevin Ward, good to see him back out there.
Isn't that nice?
I always do enjoy.
God damn it, Kevin! It just happened again. Your mic just fucking went out again.
It's Kevin Ward technology, man.
He starts talking and then it goes out. You just got to refresh it, and you should be good.
Should be good now.
Yeah, you're good.
Here we go.
But don't you like when
finicky? I don't know.
when Dolph introduces you?
Yeah, man. I do like the soundbite. Even though I haven't missed an episode and feels like quite a while now.
I at this point, if you don't miss, I'm just welcoming you back into live conversation between the three of us.
Well, sometimes it does feel like I need an invitation.
I just played it for Drake. Yeah, you're right. And in fact, I even did invite you to our own podcast a month ago, and you got a little salty about it. I found a soundbite for me, Kevin.
This is incredible, Kevin. Enjoy.
Idea that you could catch the ball.
You know, quite frankly, I was more worried about the throw than the catch. I felt pretty good about Kluver. You know, he's a senior, and everybody wanted to kill Kluver his first year when he was on campus. Now everybody loves him, so he's really grown over 5 years' time.
This was a tough week.
That's true too. They didn't want to kill him. He was hard to like for a while.
I think I remember seeing that clip before. Yeah.
Just all time. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
everybody enjoyed that as much as I did.
I mean, it's completely true. Like Kluver, you were kind of like a little shit your first couple years in the program.
He got kicked out of more lifts by himself than the rest of our house got kicked out of combined by an infinite proportion.
Yeah.
So
Was it 2 Kluver or 1?
I mean, what do you got to
was two.
say? What do you got to
It was
say?
2.
And he got threatened out of a third.
Let's air grievances, huh? I mean, let's bring it all on the table then, huh?
And he was bullying kids. Our
there we
second
go.
year.
Holy
I remember
shit.
that when you bullied another long snapper out of the program who had more talent than you.
Oh, I mean,
Taller, bigger frame, ran better.
And Doyle was the one who was like concerned about the level of bullying.
you're right, Kevin. You bring up a great point. You bring up an incredible point, and I can debunk the Doyle racism thing in an instant with this story. Okay, white kid.
Why didn't you bring this to the table 3 years ago, fucking dickhead?
I fucked up. I fucked up big time. I could have saved Doyle's career, and we just found out. We just did some investigation, and we figured it out. 2014. In fact, the same year that we were just talking about on the last podcast, where we were set up to go get our asses railed by Josh Dobbs, no eyebrow looking motherfucker, and the Tennessee Volunteers, Rocky Top, right? In the year of 2014, there were 2 long snappers on the roster, at least during that season. It was me, Tyler Kluver, 5'10", white kid from Marshalltown, Iowa, and Zach Johnson, an African-American kid from a suburb of Minneapolis, I believe. And Drake mentioned he had a bigger frame than I did. Not a hard thing to do. A bigger frame is one way to put it. This kid was softer than shit. Both physically and mentally. And now I get it. At home, you're sitting there thinking, wow, he really is a bully. Right? That's not a good way to start a story about you bullying somebody by calling them soft as fuck mentally and physically. But let me tell you, people, and I hope Zach's listening, Buddy was like a marshmallow. One that
Like
was
the
on
burnt Michelin man.
Who said that?
That was I think Coop said that about Jaleel.
He did. He
Yikes.
did.
That was oh man, you know what? I just remember this. Whenever we'd go see like a team movie,
Yep.
whenever it was like in between the previews and got all quiet, those guys would be shouting shit at each other, man.
That was
how fucking funny that shit was.
Those were some of the best memories. Dead ass. So there were 2 long snappers. It was me.
There was some shenanigans that went on the bus ride and pre-movie before we played at Penn State that can actually not be spoken about, but it's something I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Man,
a group chat was absolutely despicable for about an hour.
So 2 long snappers, me and this kid. I want to let you know that I was better than this kid in everything, in every way, right? He was taller, and I was still more physically imposing than this kid. He couldn't run. He couldn't lift. He couldn't fucking snap. I don't know how he made it onto the team. Again, Zach, if you're listening, please inform me. I don't know how you made it there. Coach White, previously mentioned on this podcast plenty of times.
Dickhead.
He'd be a good feature on Dickhead Tuesday.
No, he wouldn't.
I don't know. He'd probably have a few stories of his behavior that would fit. It just wouldn't be in a comedic way. Coach White is the special teams coordinator at the time. Doesn't really talk to the specialists. In fact, didn't know Keith Duncan's name the entirety of Keith's freshman year. Keith loves to tell that story. He pulls me aside after practice one day, and he goes, on the field, he goes, "What's this about you shitting on Zach? Are you bullying Zach? What's going on?" I looked at him like, "Excuse me? Like, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, Zach came to me and said that you, not only the group, but you specifically haven't been very nice to him. And some of the things you said have upset him." And I looked at Coach in the eye and I said, the only thing that I've tried to get through Zach's head is the right way of thinking and doing things, or in the hope that if he adopts those things, he might have a chance of making it here. Coach White didn't really resolve that issue at all. He's like, "Okay, well, cut out the bullshit because I need you. I need you, right? I'm starting at this point, first year." Then we go inside, and Coach Doyle pulls me aside. I'm a white kid. He's a black kid. Coach Doyle, supposed racist, pulls me aside and disciplines me for the supposed bullying of a kid who is a different color, a freshman who means nothing. Coach Doyle didn't have to do that. Turns out later on, Coach Doyle and I laughed about that. He's like, "Boy, was that fucking stupid, huh?"
You never told me that you guys had a little
Oh yeah.
little coming back to that moment, huh?
We reconciled it. Someone brought up Zach Johnson our senior year, and Coach Doyle got this big shit-eating grin on his face, and he goes, "Yeah, that's a kid Kluver bullied, huh?" He thought he was so slick. And And you want to know what? God, this is awesome. This is pulling memories from the back of my brain. It's the only time that I was ever in a position to tell Doyle "fuck you" to his face, because it was in jest, and I looked at him and I said, "No, fuck you, coach. There's no way that was bullying." And he just kind of got this look on his eyes, like, "Yeah, man, I don't know what we were doing with that kid. Like, it was something else." Oh. What a
Me
way
and
to
Doyle almost had a fist fight in the weight room.
because you were doing curls.
No, different day. He was just talking about beating my ass. And he's like, dude, I'd love to beat your ass, but I'd get fired. And I was like, if you ever try to beat my ass, I'm going to be leaving this place in handcuffs, dude. I won't be a Hawk anymore because I'll beat the shit out of you. We went back and forth for a bit.
I'm telling you, man, like, say what you want about Doyle. I'm still planning on doing an entire podcast once that whole situation wraps up. But actually, you know what? Good segue. Because I saw a clip this week of Deion Sanders stepping in at Colorado.
Very interesting clip.
No earrings, no hats in the meeting rooms. Direct quote. We're going to look the same. We're going to be the same. Interesting.
Remind me, didn't we get in trouble for doing something exactly like that?
Well, assuming that the information's correct, that this case against Doyle for all of the personal stuff, not the overarching cultural involvement or control that he had, but the personal stuff, assuming all of that is lies, which it basically says in the depositions that they all lied. Yeah, he was basically accused of fostering a culture of insensitivity towards African American athletes. And some of the bigger claims were basically how people dress, what they wear to meetings, how they look, how they present themselves. His whole goddamn career came burning to the ground because I guess that was him trying to make black kids look like white kids. But when Deion does it, he gets paid $5 million.
It's just unity.
Is that what Deion's getting paid?
I don't know what he's getting paid. I heard that.
I'd expect he makes more than that, dude.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Several people tagged us in that and said, "Hey, what's the difference here?" And I'm not gonna stand here and tell you that it's 100% the same thing. I'll tell you, it's pretty damn close, though. It's pretty damn close. It's really unfortunate. I don't know. I can't even answer the question. I would have to bring on one of my former African American teammates and get them to answer that, of why Deion can say that and it's about discipline and unity, and why Coach Doyle can say that and it's about racism. And I don't know.
Deion's getting paid $30 million over 5 years.
So $6 million a year.
And then he told all his players to hit the transfer portal because he was going to be getting all 5 stars coming in and taking their positions and shit. Like, can you imagine if that got said in our building?
I mean, that's fair. They're trash.
That was a wild press conference, though.
Hey, listen, dude. It was
No, I think the most wild thing about it is that it was filmed and made public.
Dude, everything with him, he's it's Hollywood, right? So everything
prime time.
Everywhere he goes, he's got I don't know if he has his own film crew or if some crew is just from ESPN or one of these networks.
Y'all remember his entrance when he was named the Jackson State head coach? That was lit.
I don't remember it.
Oh, he had like a whole like band come in with it. Oh, look it up sometime.
I will.
Fans, look it up.
And I'm not even saying I'm not. There was nothing against Deion bringing that up. By the way, I like.
Oh, I'm fully supportive of what
I love that. he is who he is, and he's been that way since he was a player. It's why he got prime time as a nickname. He's arguably the best. He's a top 5 athlete ever, probably. Played well.
I mean, like him and Bo Jackson
Yeah. I mean, they're the top 2 probably, right?
are, yeah.
Played 2 sports and played them both well.
At a professional level.
I mean, that's insanity. And
Played 2 professional games in the same day.
Wild. So wild. He's got his own style, and he definitely connects with the players. He obviously had a mission with the HBCU. He can recruit the hell out of guys. He's flashy. He's prime time. And I think that, no doubt, I mean, supposedly the tweet that I saw was like 200 inquiries from transfer portal athletes had already come in. And
Because, dude, Boulder, Colorado is a great place to be.
it's a hell of a nice place. Someone in our Discord said the average home price is like $860,000.
For real, dude. Go look at real estate in Boulder.
That's-
My buddy Jared, he's wholesaling houses for companies right now, and they buy places in Boulder sometimes. And he was telling me that, like, dude, real estate out there, you're buying junk ass houses for hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get a place on the land.
Dude, what do these people all do to make that kind of money? Like, what do we?
I don't know.
Or
But
they just
also,
going into debt.
they're gonna have a bazillion red blood cells from practicing up there all the time.
It's true. There's a little elevation up there. Yeah, I think Colorado used to be good. I mean,
Yeah, they used to. They were national championship caliber for a while.
it's been a while, but
Yeah.
They had a really good team less than 4 years ago.
did they?
It was, yeah, they went on a nice little unbeaten run there for a little bit. I'll check it out. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. They found lightning in a bottle for a year. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I think Deion will, and it's funny, because the day after he's hired, Caden Proctor tweets a recruitment or an announcement, blessed to receive an offer from the University of Colorado.
Bro, he's transferring.
I don't think he is. If he was going to, he would have already done it. You think he is?
2016, they went 10-4. I think they were undefeated there for a little bit.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And then they've been pretty poor ever since.
Yeah, they're trash. Which
Mel Tucker went 5-7 and then got a better job at Michigan State. Has one good year, and Mel Tucker.
Dude, Mel Tucker is the
talk about a come up for him, man.
He's a thief, man. He went 5-7, got hired at Michigan State, found Kenneth Walker, and then got paid 100 M's. Drake, 100 McBiskies?
That's a pretty good.
100 biscuits,
that's a pretty good 2-year span. Yeah.
Talk about started from the bottom.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did
you all see Jeff Brom's on the move? Brom?
That was on the docket as well. There's a lot of West news today.
Where's he going?
Louisville.
I thought that was a really interesting.
That's a lateral move at best.
At best,
right? You're definitely moving down in conferences from Big Ten to ACC, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, West Lafayette's not the most prime of college football.
Have you been to Louisville, Kentucky?
No.
Dude, it ain't much to brag about.
He was pulling Purdue up from the depths. Like, I think Purdue could have become
Yeah, he did a great job over. Was he there 5 years or so? 6 years? Was 16 his first year there?
Something like that. Yeah, 16 maybe.
Yeah, he did a great job with that program. Again, it's Purdue. The ceiling is pretty capped, but I think he was damn near hitting it. And maybe that's what he saw. He's like, hey, this is about as good as it gets here. I might need to get
save the reputation,
take a different step, get a better contract or something.
Hey,
like that.
You're right. We look at
He was on his highest possible place,
You're right.
Gave Michigan a decent run in the Big Ten title game. That's the best you're going to get at Purdue.
Because if you're looking at it like this, boys, you're a coach, and realistically, you have stock. We talked about Matt Campbell's stock.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State in a very similar spot. He took them to their best season ever, 9-4 or whatever it was supposed to be. He took them to a Fiesta Bowl win. Couple big wins in his 6 or 7 years as a coach at Iowa State. But now, has he hit the cap? He certainly took a massive step back this year. And where does Matt Campbell's stock go? He's a young guy. If he wants to go get another job, a good job, there's not so many out there that are going to pick him right now. So he either has to go come back around at Iowa State and find another great year to where then he can leave, or he's stuck at Iowa State for however long and just, he's just 6-6, 7-5 for a bunch of years. And a lot of guys don't want to do that. So maybe Braum was smart. It is Purdue,
Mm-hmm. I believe you're losing Aiden O'Connell. Charlie Jones is done.
Yep.
Purdue is not going to be as good as Purdue was this year.
I think they'll be less good next year than they are this year. Yeah.
I mean, I find it hard to believe that they would improve. It'd be a hell of a coaching job if they did. Now, especially with new coaching staff coming in.
And they lost their 30-year-old quarterback.
Right. It could very possibly be Perdon't again next year in 2023.
Oh, and I love that nickname too.
Yeah.
It's such a good nickname. Have you guys seen the clip of Jeff Brom when he played in the XFL?
No.
So hopefully I can share the screen here and be tech guy. I saw this today when the news was announced. And I thought it was pretty funny. So the context here is Jeff Brom is coming off of an injury, and the reporter asks him, "How are you playing this week after an injury like we saw?" And this was his response. Let me see if I can.
Brom, how in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you 2 questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. 2, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
I'm fired up. Holy shit.
I do remember actually seeing that clip. I had no idea that was Jeff Brom.
I cannot believe that that's Jeff Brom, dude.
Dude.
He just gained a bazillion respect points in my book, dude. Jeff Brom's not my favorite coach.
After seeing that clip today, I was like, oh, he's kind of a baller, huh?
I mean, I always thought he'd coach. I kind of, had some respect for him. But yeah, that was kind of sick.
That'll get you lit up.
Yeah.
Do I or do I not have a pulse right now? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
They better play that at his Louisville welcome.
Oh yeah. So, and he played at Louisville. So that's the thing that makes sense here.
Okay, I can see
that's
that.
his alma mater. Outside of it being where he has history, lateral move at best. I just don't.
I mean, geographically, it ain't that far. I mean, you're basically recruiting the exact same areas.
And you're moving you're moving to the ACC from the Big Ten, and it's not Clemson. I don't know. Maybe he sees an opportunity there. Take Louisville. I think Louisville could get to a point where they are number.
I mean, Louisville's had its runs here and there,
Yeah.
They've been able to be a good program here and there. Helps when you have Lamar Jackson.
Facts.
But yeah, exactly. And the ACC is pretty wide open. Clemson's good now. They're not dominant like they had been years, like the past decade or so. Yeah, you can see the door open to go in the ACC and start running that. Sure.
Yeah.
And from there, you can go land up a job in the SEC or Big Ten for $150 million by the end of his Louisville contract, probably.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the move, right? Maybe he goes
to the ACC and then jump on up to the big boy league.
Take Penn State's job when Franklin leaves or something like that.
Never know. Yeah.
Other news in the West today. There was for a short time, it looked like Leonard was going to stay on staff at Wisconsin. He will be on their staff through the bowl game, but then he is moving on. So he will be a free agent. Someone's gonna pick him up.
Rumor on the street is Nebraska and Matt Rule are going to try to pick him off.
Hire him
I
as
was about to say he's going to be a free agent for exactly 0 days.
Yeah. He's sought after. And Fleck signs a deal, extension at Minnesota, 7 years for $42 million. And as a Hawkeye fan, I love it. Right?
I mean, that's just straight up overpaid, man.
42 McBiskies for PJ Fleck.
He's now making more than KF per year.
Yes. I believe that's correct.
That's hilarious. He hasn't beat him once.
Also correct.
I love it. I love it so much. They haven't even, they've had no Floyd in that building for now almost a decade. It will be, even if they were to win it next year, it would be 9 years.
I mean, he's been there since 2017 was his first year, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
They've had one good year where I think they went 10-2.
Yep. 10-2.
Didn't even make the Big Ten championship though.
Correct. I think Wisconsin did.
Yeah. And I think they've gone 8-4 a couple times too. So I mean, I don't know. Above average program, I'd say.
He's not a bad coach, and it's not a bad program.
Coach, but is he worth $7 million a year?
I don't think so.
I mean, that's hilarious, dude.
It is funny. What is?
Yeah, there's been some weird stories coming out of Minnesota over the past couple of years about like just some of his antics and behaviors too. Like, I just think he's a weird dude.
Well,
Dude,
I mean,
he's got college kids rowing the boat still. Think about that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure him and that one receiver were double teaming people up at Western Michigan. So
Bateman. Oh, Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Him and Corey Davis were DP'd?
Yeah, that's the rumor, bro.
No.
I've talked about this. I thought I said this. This is from reputable source.
What?
Who's our source?
Don't out the source.
I won't, but I'll text it to you guys right now, and you guys will go, oh, shit.
Who the fuck do we know from Western Michigan?
This guy knows guys in the football world. And so, yeah.
All right, you're right. We don't out that source.
That's not a source we out. Other West news, not really that big of a deal, but Rule already making an impact at Nebraska. They signed a guy, and who gives a shit, right? But they signed a guy who runs a 10.25 100-meter today.
That's pretty fast.
That's
Whoa.
fast.
That's fast.
That's fast, boys and girls.
That's a high school kid.
High school kid who runs 10.25. That's like...
Doesn't always translate though. I remember, I want to say like the Giants tried to work out Usain Bolt back in the day, and just like
I'm sure they did.
Guy couldn't run routes.
But you got to be able to catch a ball too, right?
Catching the ball is the easy part. Like,
not for
running
some
routes is more than just running fast.
You're right. Getting in and out of cuts, lateral agility. It's not all the same.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, it help if you can get up that fast.
If you're running a go route, tough to guard a 10.25 guy. Jack Campbell wins the Campbell Award.
Oh, they named it after him. That's cool.
Yeah, they immediately renamed it after he was the honoree. No, it was like the William V. Campbell or something like that. It's for the best all around like scholastic and athletic achievement in the country.
I actually went to that banquet one year. Patrick was one of the he didn't win. He was one of the finalists.
Nominee?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive, dude.
Yeah, it was in New York that year. I'm pretty sure National Football Foundation, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And funny story about this. So Patrick played at Northwestern, right? And so we're at a table with my parents, Patrick on the stage with all the other players, and I'm sitting with Rex Burkhead's parents,
Okay.
Coach Fitzgerald, and this old man to my left who I had no idea who he was, right? And the guy's like talking to me. I'm like kind of talking back. I'm in high school at this time and, not really giving the guy much attention, but like, responding when he asked me questions, but not really producing conversation on my end.
Sure.
My dad tells me after the dinner, he's like, you know who that was? I'm like, no idea. That was Tom Osborne.
Oh, fuck.
Hall of Fame college football coach.
All-time Hall of Famer.
A guy that they wish was back in Nebraska.
Oh yeah. But yeah, very nice guy. I was in high school. I was like out of my element, no idea what's going on. And just had no idea who I was talking to. But yeah, cool event. Major honor for Jack, well deserved.
Not sure why he's wearing a lei, but in the picture, but it's whatever.
Because it's badass and he can do whatever he wants.
He really
He's the
can.
king of the jungle, dude.
Yeah. You think, he would never do it, but if he wanted to, he's at that point in his career at Iowa if he wanted to do one of those, hey coach, I don't think I'm practicing today. They'd be like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
There are
earned
some
that.
guys when it comes to bull prep where you kind of get put out to pasture. Like Drake, I don't know about you, but I was on partial retirement during bull prep.
Bro, I was on partial retirement from the day I broke my leg.
I was going to say Drake was on it for an entire year.
Yeah, but so like my senior year bull prep, and I'm nowhere near Jack Campbell's level, was we'd go through individual. I'd take 1 rep of blocks, 1 rep of 9-on-7.
Wow.
1 set, so 4 plays of 7-on-7, and then 1 set of team versus team, so another 4 plays. That was my day. I was done.
Fuck, you did less than me.
Didn't do a whole lot, yeah. But that's not the goal. It's like your seniors who are going to be in the building have to play 1 more game in 3 weeks. They don't need to get better. You need to work on the younger guys. So
you both want their bodies to feel good, the guys who are going to play, and you need the time.
And the reps are better spent on other kids.
Yeah.
Felt so good, dude.
Oh my God, it felt awesome. It was great.
I didn't do a bowl prep after we left the basically when we were prepping for the Rose Bowl was the last time that I got hit in a bowl prep.
Yeah.
Well, junior year bull prep, you would have been cranking.
I was hanging
bike,
out with the coaches, man, sitting on a scooty.
Yeah,
you didn't bike at all?
Oh, yeah, arm bike.
Bike sucks, man. I hated the bike.
Yeah, but I just used it as an excuse to get bigger arms.
Yeah. I biked today. I rode today too.
I swam today.
Really? Back in the pool, huh?
Back in the pool, man. Went a whole mile.
Wow. That's good. Drake said before you hopped on here that his body feels like dog shit.
I'm broken, fellas.
Yeah, you getting beaten up in the gym a little bit?
Yeah, bro. I dislocated a rib last night. I'm in bad shape.
Ooh. Gotta get
Like
that
my
crack back
whole
into
left
place or
side of
what?
my rib cage is like protruding a little bit.
Getting his ass beat by wrestlers who just
Dude, it was in the cage too.
it's not good. I had an idea. And I don't know where this came from. I think it was I'm not really sure. But it's a new rule for punt, and it makes it more exciting. Well, less exciting.
No fair catches, no halo rule.
Well, that would be something. It's similar. It's similar.
No, it's not.
You max. It's not as bad as that. To make things more exciting for punts and to make teams have to be super fundamentally sound, you max out how far back the punter can stand at 13.5 yards.
So you want to see a lot more block punts?
Potentially, if they don't know how to block up the.
I mean, you basically have to abandon the shield punt, right?
Probably.
Yeah, you get your butthole kicked up.
But you move the shield up a yard.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And then you say, hey, if you guys fuck up even a little bit, this thing's getting blocked.
But just think about how much shorter the edge is for the outside guy if you move the shield up a yard.
You're right.
Their arc is now even smaller.
You got to figure it out.
Like you got a fast guy and then
Figure it
You
out.
got a fast guy, a smaller arc, and less distance to cover, pal. What are we doing here? We're blocking punts.
I think
Do
that
we just
requires
do like
you to go
a
to
10-man gate? You got a man block your dude, just fucking
That's what-
pass at his ass.
That's what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you just got to move to pro punt. That's the only way you can do it.
Basically, yeah, I guess we just take it back to pro punt, but I think it would add a lot of excitement.
Kluver, what's the rationale? Why don't NFL teams do shield punt? Why do they all do the pro style still? Is it illegal?
I don't know if it's illegal. I think it's because in the NFL, I think injury-wise and what you guys were just talking about anyway, the speed of guys coming off the edge, I just think it's guys will get there. I think they'll get there. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. It might be a rule. I have no idea. We'll have to ask Gervais. I love watching Gervais when
the
Rams
OPP on the Rams.
Yeah.
Bastards getting fake plays calling up for him.
Seriously, what was going on
Can't kill
that
what
week?
won't die, dude.
He's a cockroach. We got to make.
Dude, it's cool that there's just some dudes that are just hanging around.
He's one of them.
Collecting paychecks in the NFL. He's damn sure one of them.
The ultimate one is James Ferentz.
He's starting now, dude.
Dude, guy
James Ferentz is
starts
beating the
in
system
2022.
somehow.
He's basically a staff member for the Patriots. They just bring him in because he knows the system, and they literally tell him, he's like, hey, they're like, you're not the talent guy, but when we inevitably have guys go down, we're bringing you in the postseason because we know you know the plays. That's what they do with him.
Yeah, they're just like, stay in shape. We'll call you when we need you.
And he collects probably on average.
I mean, if you're active for 1 week, they have to pay you for 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's money.
So, I mean, league minimum, I mean, if you're active for a game, you're cashing.
Well, he's a vet. He's a 10-year vet, too.
He gets a vet minimum
so, I
of
mean,
over $1 million.
Yeah, so he's probably getting paid. If he's only played 1 game, he'd be getting paid like $100.
I was just going to search it. So vet minimum is $900K. Did Drake just bounce?
Yeah, I think he's done with this.
Okay. Oh, nope, he's back. So vet minimum.
I refreshed.
Okay. Vet minimum's 900,000. You divide that by 18, but then you times it by 3. So what is that? 50 grand times it's 150 G's if you just are active 1 week. Oh my God.
Pretty good deal.
Fuck me, man. I mean, that's taxed, of course, but God, what a deal.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hey, we should have tried that NFL thing, you know?
Why didn't we?
Because we stink.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because we fucking stink.
But now we got a podcast with a catchy name that wouldn't have been applicable if we made it.
True.
So who's the real winner?
We would have just been boring pro athletes. Fuck that.
And
dude, all the pro athletes have their own podcasts now. You see this? Pretty much
Yeah,
everyone's got their own shit.
And it's not as successful as us. Because guess what? Today, I sent the donation to the children's hospital, and it felt good, boys.
But did it go to the kids for Christmas presents?
Half of it did, and I decided to take autonomy over the other half and donate it to the NICU because that was relevant to me this year.
It's very good. I'll take
Allow
that.
it. Allow it.
So
I mean, how many kids can this? I mean, how many toys can we possibly?
I'm
get
telling
these
you,
kids, right?
PS5s would have been sick.
yeah,
We probably would have had PS5s for every single kid in the damn place if we
Right.
gave them the full 25.
well, and the thing I said to Drake was like, how many girls are in there trying to play PS5, right? Like half of them are
I
probably
don't know,
girls.
dude. I don't know.
So 12. So, shout out to the Walk On Army. $12,500 of our $25,000 donation was sent to the Child Life Program, and $12,500 was sent to the NICU specific program. That is because of you guys, the listeners, who support this brand, buy our merchandise, mainly sign up for the Patreon. And I mean, shit, like 25 G's. It ain't 25 McBiskies, right? But it's 25 G's.
Feels
not-
pretty good, man. Feels
it's
pretty
not-
good.
Do you remember, Kevin?
I can't believe the podcast made $25,000.
Well, it made more than that because I
I
donated
know
myself
it did,
first.
but what I'm saying is we donated. I can't even believe we made that much.
Right. I remember when Kevin, the first year we did it, we donated $4,000 in 2020, I believe. And I was like, should we try to get a big check and do the whole picture thing and stuff? And Kevin was like, maybe if we donate 10 grand or 20 grand some year. And now we're donating 25 grand and I'm just sending it in online. And I'll get an email too, because last year when I sent the 17 in, they're like, how did you guys raise $17,000? Is there anything you guys need? They were trying to. I was like, yeah, I mean, name a goddamn wing after us. I mean,
all right, we get to 50 and we can do the big check photo op. How about
50,
that?
50 will do a big check photo op.
50 and I'll allow
the
the
number
big
that
check
we
photo
finally
op.
get to go in like we're fucking Santa Claus.
Well, there is still the idea that we had, Drake, of you and I dressing up as Santa and an elf and setting up a WWE match in the fucking hospital.
Yes.
All right, who's gonna put on 300 pounds and be Santa Claus?
I can't do it again. I can't do it.
My stomach won't allow it.
And Drake's, I guess I'll have to do it. Fuck. Not
It'll
good.
go right through Drake. Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you to the fans for making that possible. That is all going to a great
If
spot.
you guys, if that warms your heart that the walk-ons are donating and are able to be a part of something cool like that, half of our Patreon is goes to that, right? And so by you signing up, you're not only basically saying, hey, I want to help contribute to the kids each year, but then we give you incentive to hey, not only do you get to contribute to the kids, you get to listen to Drake and I therapy session podcast on Tuesdays every week. You get access to the fantasy football league. You get merch discounts that you're going to inevitably buy merch with, right? You get other stuff.
Dude, has Goat Wallace landed at the facility yet?
I believe tomorrow Goat Wallace will land.
Oh my God, the anticipation.
You sent the shirts to the guys on the team or just the linebackers or what?
Read him the note.
Okay, I read this on DHT, but we'll bring it to the main show.
Dude, we made Goat Wallace merch and sent it to him, dude. This is one of the proudest moments of my life.
So, as anyone knows who just looked at our merchandise or had access to the if you at all were interested and are on the Patreon, you know about the Goat Wallace merch, and you saw me post about it. Obviously, we weren't going to do Goat Wallace merch without sending Goat Wallace some merch, right? So I sent a box of 15 or 20 t-shirts and sweatshirts over to the complex, addressed to Seth Goat Wallace. And I had our guys at AdCraft, shout out to the boys, print an insert that says as follows: Coach, here's a few shirts and hoodies for you in the defense or whoever's interested. KF would probably like to wear one if we're being honest. People keep letting us three say and do dumb shit, and this is right on brand. A tribute to you being the fucking GOAT. Not sure if you gave this defense the will versus want speech or what, but you guys got some dogs over there right now. Tell Coop to stay away from the females because God knows they're lining up for number 3. If these are popular, we can always send more. Get your fucking pads down. Signed, Kluve, Kulik, and Ward.
That's fucking funny, man.
It doesn't get better than that.
Get your pads. You just tried to come up with every one of his sayings and put it back in the note, didn't you?
Pretty much.
Will versus want. Get your pads down. Yeah.
Dogs.
And dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hit, you really gotta hit it, right? Yeah. Hit it.
Oh man,
So-
that's funny as shit. I can't wait to see what happens with that.
So that should be arriving tomorrow. I mean, it's Clinton to Iowa City, so I imagine that it'll be there tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. And that feels good. So, and by the way, anybody who participated in that merch drop, even if you're not a Patreon member, patreon.com/washupwalkons, by the way, thank you, because the half of the merchandise sales also contribute to that yearly donation. And the boys did numbies on merch this year too. So we're trying to get to a McBiscuit, right? Might take us a while to get. If we get to a McBiscuit a year, Kevin,
Dude, you're stealing all my shit.
That was you.
Yeah, dude. Give me credit.
Okay.
McBiscuit a year and Kev will quit his job.
McBiscuit a year, and Kevin's no longer working for Stryker.
Now, do the fans know what a McBiscuit is?
It's $1 million.
It's a McBiscuit, man.
Shout out Brady Ross, who I don't know why shout out Brady Ross. He doesn't deserve it, really. When are we gonna affiliate this, create multiple shows, Drake, and you and B Ross have your own show?
He'd never commit to it weekly.
Why not?
Dude.
For McBiscuit, right?
Hey, show me the money, pal.
How good of a show would it be if I produced it and I didn't say a word and it was just you and Brady?
I'd say we could probably have some pretty fun conversations. I'll bet we'd sell numbers.
What
Make
if
it a
we did
Patreon show?
What if we started a show called Fullback Friday and it was like a 20 or 30 minute show, you and B Ross. I don't know. I think it might
CTE
hit.
Sunday.
Kevin and I already talked about, start up some other podcasts. Keith and I are probably
let the fans have the fans tell us what shows do you guys want? Huh?
I'm looking for guys on the team right now who are interested in getting into podcasting and content. I'm looking to expand the walk-ons eventually, the brand. This show
That's
will
insane. You're trying to be Barstool?
trying to be Iowa Barstool.
That's crazy. Hey, well, I'm here, so
So you fuckers asked me a couple months ago, what is the road to how we do this forever? And I'm fucking trying to brainstorm here.
This is why you got the extra 1%.
Right. Yeah. Thank God I got
precisely.
that. Okay, before we leave, we're 49 minutes in. Kevin has real shit to do, but I thought we'd talk about this. Obviously, there's been some entries into the portal. Every team's got some entries into the portal. But the two that are a bit shocking that came out on Monday or Tuesday of this week is Justin Jacobs and Terry Roberts. And those two were unexpected. Keegan Johnson, Arlen Bruce, Gavin Williams.
Padilla.
Padilla?
Halfway out the door at the end of the year, for sure.
Not surprising. But Justin Jacobs and Terry Roberts. Scary Terry, man.
Man, we gave him so much love.
He's a damn good football player, man.
They're both damn good football players.
But now it's good fucking riddance.
It doesn't feel good.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
So when the Jacobs news came out on Monday, I quote tweeted it and I said, "This one doesn't make sense to me. Smells like tampering." And if we're being honest, what are even the fucking rules right now? Is anybody going to crack down on tampering? Is the NCAA really going to pursue
It's the Wild
something?
West right now, dude. It's lawless out there.
And
I mean, I think the only way to get caught is like someone who's like definitely not leaving, like provides text messages and emails and phone calls and transcripts or something like that.
which I would have classified Jacobs and Terry Roberts as pretty solidly like, I mean, both of them.
I mean, the reason I say that's really head scratching is both of them were like starters next year, right?
Starters.
Right. Obviously, they both deal with injuries this year. They were going to play a much larger role than they did, but both were going to be starters, every down guys, damn good football players, and probably when's the draft? April. 16 months from collecting a big old bag from probably some two pretty good draft positions, right?
They were going to pick up literal bags of McBiskies. So
I mean, if it's the tampering over NIL money, like fuck yeah, that's what it actually is. Are you giving up the potential long-term bigger bag for a short-term bigger bag?
Because you're playing like
smaller? Yeah, I don't know.
Where are you going to play on a better defense, right? Georgia? Now, there is speculation on Justin Jacobs, and there could be something to this. His girlfriend, and I hate to say it, but someone once said inside the complex that pussy is undefeated.
Ain't even had a close game.
It's never even been in a contest. So taking that into account,
Beats the spread too.
It always covers. Justin Jacobs' girlfriend was a softball player at Bama, recently transferred to Georgia. Did Georgia potentially snipe a very talented linebacker from Iowa? Maybe. We'll have to see. If he doesn't go there, then clearly not. But that's speculation. And regardless of who did it, is it likely that teams out there who have people on their staff like Tyler Barnes who kind of have time to look around, see who's hurt, see who might try and up their situation? Are people coming to Scary Terry and Justin and being like, hey, we see you at Iowa. Damn good defense you play for. You've put out some real good film. We've got a lot of NIL money down here at XYZ school. We'd love to have you for $500,000. Like, is that a possibility? I don't know. But it was surprising to say.
I find it harder to believe you're leaving for any other reason.
You play on a defense that consistently sends guys to the NFL.
Especially at linebacker, right?
Consistently has a top 10 we're top defense in the country. And you have a starting spot waiting for you. Granted, sure, you had a tough year, right? Injuries, I'm sure you guys can both talk to being out for a long time and how injuries can fuck with your mind. But, man, interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it all pans out, where they end up going. But, oof. I think they took the short term
bag
over the long term. Even if you're getting paid more,
small-minded thinkers.
I think even if you're getting paid more in 2023, I think your draft stock is exponentially higher. You stay.
I would agree.
Because I mean, maybe you go to a different system and it just doesn't fit you as well. Maybe you go to Georgia and you don't even get your starting spot. Then you're fucked.
Right. I mean, Jacobs, because here's what I see with Jacobs is he might be a Georgia level defender, right? Probably is.
He could be, but to be honest with you, he doesn't have a ton of film out there. Like he split reps last year between the Cash and the Leo. He wasn't an every down guy.
Yeah.
He's the potential, the build, the athleticism is all there. You know, this was supposed to be his coming out year this year, and unfortunately he was hurt. But I don't know. Yeah, the ceiling, super high ceiling, right?
Yes.
He hasn't gotten there yet.
No,
due
not
to
yet.
Injury mostly, but yeah, he's
will be interesting to see how that plays out and where those two land. And keep in mind, although it may strain relationship a little bit, just because you enter the transfer portal doesn't necessarily mean that you transfer. But we'll see what the case is with these. Terry on Twitter posted today that he had been offered by Penn State. So that hurts. And we play them next year.
Time and backstabbing piece of shit.
Who knows what's going to happen, but it don't feel good if you're in the black and gold. So,
I mean, does any program feel good right now? Everyone's got people leaving left and right.
I will say this for those who are freaking
it's just
out.
Fucking musical chairs. Like, I'm going to take your guys and you're going to get guys from there and there and there and there. And it's like, it's fucking wild chaos. That is free agency every fucking year.
And every team's going through it. It feels
every
bad.
team, every year. There is no contracts beyond this season.
It feels bad because we only follow Iowa, and all of you listening only follow Iowa for the most part. So it feels like, fuck, why are all these Iowa guys in the portal? Every team's going through it. Every team. So who knows? Kev, we'll let you go eat some dinner. I haven't eaten either yet, so I got to go eat some dinner. Drake, hopefully you can keep dinner down. Or fuck,
I'll get it down.
Okay. Well, hopefully it doesn't go right through you. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Send us your thoughts on this transfer portal madness, on the Jeff Brom lateral movement. Sign up for our Patreon so we can make McBiskies and give them to the kids. And we're 25 episodes away from 400. Start sending us in who you want to see on 400 because we're going to need a big-time guest here soon. So until then, 375, Kevin, Drake, myself. We'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Peace.
Peace.